This is Advanced Math, Unit 9, Lesson 3. Long division / synthetic division. Part 1, long division. Number 1, parentheses, 5x squared minus 17x minus 12 divided by x minus 4. Okay, so you've done this before. You did this last year in Math 3. So let me just remind you how to set this up. You set it up as a division problem with the first piece inside, the 5x squared minus 17x minus 12 divided by x minus 4. And then you just go through and see what multiplies to what. So here's what you do. You ask yourself, you cover this, this is a review for you guys. You ask yourself, x times what is 5x squared? And that is 5x. You then distribute the 5x to both the x and the minus 4. That's 5x squared minus 20x. And if you remember with long division back in elementary words, 5x squared minus 5x squared, they cross each other out. That's the whole reason we chose the 5x up here. But since it's a polynomial, you do have to distribute your negative, so minus, and this one becomes a plus. Okay, so you still subtract, that's still gone. That first set should always cross out. Negative 17x plus 20x is negative, positive 3x. Take away 12, because you drop that down. And then you start over. X times what is 3x, and that's positive 3. Distribute 3x, take away 12. And again, you subtract going downward, but you have to distribute the negative. So the first one should always cancel out. If anything else cancels out, it's bonus, but for sure the first set should always cross out. This also crosses out, so your remainder is 0. So 5x plus 3 is your final answer. Okay, number 2. X plus 2 divides into x to the 4th plus 5x cubed plus 6x squared minus x minus 2. X plus 2 on the outside, x to the 4th plus 5x cubed plus 6x squared minus x minus 2. All right, x times what is x to the 4th? That's going to be x cubed. And then you distribute. X cubed times x is x to the 4th. X cubed times 2 is plus 2x cubed. Remember to distribute your negative, minus and minus. And as I stated earlier, the first set should always cross out. 5x cubed plus negative 2x cubed is positive 3x cubed plus 6x squared. You can bring it all down. I'm just going to bring it piece by piece. Okay, then we start over. X times what is going to give you the 3x cubed, and that's going to be 3x squared. So plus, because it's a positive, 3x squared. 3x squared times x is 3x cubed. 3x squared times 2 is positive 6x squared. Distribute your negative, minus, minus. And as I stated before, the first set should always cross out. If anything else crosses out, it's bonus. This crosses out, it's gone completely. You can put a 0 there. I'm just going to drop what's left. Minus x minus 2. And I start all over. X times what is negative x. That's going to be negative 1. Distribute the negative 1 to that. Negative x minus 2. Subtract, and when we subtract, we distribute the negative, so plus plus. The first set should always cross out. If anything else crosses out, it's bonus, and that is another remainder of 0. X cubed plus 3x squared minus 1 is your final answer. Okay, number 3. X squared plus 1 divided into x to the 4th plus x cubed plus 5x squared All right. So when we do this, your teachers last year may have taught you how to put zeros in, like x squared plus 0x plus 1, to have it all accounted for. I don't do that. You can if you'd like, and I'll show you in class if you want to see it that way. I'm just going to divide, I'm going to work it out and line it up as we go. X squared times what is x to the 4th? X squared. And then you distribute. X squared times x squared is x to the 4th. X squared times 1 is x squared. Now you can see right there that that doesn't line up. So what you can do, you don't have to rewrite it. You can leave it there and just put it over, like see that it goes this way. Or if you'd like, you can line it up. So that was x squared, x to the 4th plus 1x squared, just to line it up. Or leave it here and know that the like term is over on its side. All right, so we're going to subtract, so we distribute our negative. First set should always cross out. X cubed doesn't have a like term, so it stays x cubed plus 4x squared. And then we start over. X squared times what is x cubed? That's positive x. Distribute. That's x to the 3rd plus x. Not a like term here, I'm just going to put it over there, plus x. And again, you could put it right underneath. It really doesn't matter as long as you know they're not like terms. Distribute your negative, minus, minus. First set should always be gone. 4x squared doesn't have a like term, so it's 4x squared plus negative x. I'm just going to write minus x. X squared times what is 4x squared? That is positive 4. Distribute. 4x squared plus 4, distribute the negative, minus, minus, gone, and this is not gone like it has been on the other two, so that's negative x minus 4, because they are not like terms. Technically I could have put this over here on the side, but that's fine. Negative x minus 4 is your remainder, so you write it like this. Hopefully you remember this from last year. You write negative x minus 4 over the x squared plus 1. And that there is your answer. X squared plus x plus 4 plus negative x minus 4 all over x squared plus 1. All right, let's do another one like that that does not line up. Number 4, x to the 5th plus 7 over x cubed minus 1. Okay, so x to the 5th plus 7 goes on the inside, x cubed minus 1 goes on the outside. X to the 3rd times what is x to the 5th? That's going to be x squared. Distribute. X to the 5th minus x squared. I just put it over because they're not like terms. Again, that's when I multiply at the exponents, that's x to the 5th minus x squared. Distribute the negative, minus, this one becomes plus. First set always crosses out. These are not like terms. I'm just going to write the x squared first because that's typically how we would write it in standard form. X squared plus 7. And start again. X cubed times what is x squared? Since the squared is smaller than the cubed, I can't go any further. This is my remainder. Plus x squared plus 7 over x cubed minus 1. Again, that is the remainder because the squared is smaller than the cubed. I can't go any further. All right, moving right along. I'm going to move on to part 2, synthetic. Synthetic, okay, number 1 is going to be 5x squared minus 17x minus 12 divided by x minus 4. Now you can only do synthetic when what you're dividing by has a degree of 1. If it was x squared or x to the third, you couldn't do it. But what you do is you set that equal to 0, and 4 is what goes into your little box here. Now on these you have to put your zeros in for all your powers. All your powers need to be accounted for. Second power, first power, no power, they're all there. If any were missing, you would have to put zeros. Okay, so I take my coefficient. So that's positive 5, negative 17, negative 12. Drop the first one, 5. And then I multiply. 4 times 5 is 20. And I add negative 17 plus 20. Negative 17 plus 20 is positive 3. And then I multiply. 4 times 3 is 12. And I add again. Negative 12 plus 12 is 0. Okay, again, this should be review. You drop, multiply, add, multiply, add. Okay, 0, with that last number being 0 means your remainder is 0. And then you look at your original degree. My original degree is 2. I always go one less. So that's going to be 5x plus 3. If that had been a cubed, this would be 5x squared. If that had been 5x to the fourth, this would be 5x cubed. You always go one less from this and then decrease. First power, no power. 5x plus 3 is your answer. We'll see another one to get a little more practice. I just want to flip this over really quick and show you that's this one that we did right here. And the answer we got was 5x plus 3. So you can see it does work. This is the same problem I just gave you. And this is the answer we got. So it works both ways. All right, number 2. 5x cubed plus 6x plus 8 divided by x plus 2. Set this equal to 0. That goes in your box. That's negative 2. Third power, there is no second power, so we'll have to put in the 0. Third power, second power, first power, no power. So 5 for the third power, 0 for the second power. You can put a little note in there, that's 0x squared. Third power, second power, first power, no power. 6, 8. 5068. 5068. Drop your first number. 5. Negative 2 times 5 is negative 10. 0 plus negative 10 is negative 10. Multiply, that's positive 20. Add, that's positive 26. Multiply, that's negative 52. 8 plus negative 52 is negative 44. And I should have done that up here. That last number, just this here is just boxing off that last number to remind you that last number is your remainder. So my remainder on this one is negative 44. So what I do is I write it as 5. That's x cubed, so 1 less will be x squared, and I just decrease from there. Minus 10x to the first plus 26 with no power plus negative 44 over the x plus 2. All right, so that was 5 drop down, x squared because that was x cubed, and then from here I just decrease x squared, x to the first, no x, and then my remainder. And that's it for this lesson.